Good evening and welcome to RockTruth. I am your host, Tamoise, and we thank you for joining us as we rock truth or absolutely nothing at all. We live in a society today where truth, even before our very eyes, is consistently questioned, criticized, and altered to fit a person's ideology of God's original intent for the kingdom and for mankind. We believe that the Bible, our kingdom constitution, is inspired, infallible, inerrant, and the final authority for all. Rock Truth is founded on He, who is the original point of reference for all things to come through eternity. Rock Truth Radio is a cross cultural response to the economic climate and social crisis of today. Rock Truth is designed to serve the physical need of fallen man while serving the spiritual need he didn't know he had that impacts, affects, and infects generationally. Rock Truth seeks to inspire, enlighten, and highlight upcoming established local kings and queens of character while promoting Black consciousness and awareness of who we are, to whom we belong. Rock Truth!
What's going on?
Where y'all at, y'all? How
Yo,
y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Awesome.
All right.
Good.
I'm
Yes.
Miss Tony this Monday.
And I first want to make sure we welcome our new RockYouth truther, Naya.
Hi, Naya.
Hey, Naya.
Welcome.
Hey.
I want
Welcome.
you to just tell us a little something about yourself, real quick.
I am Anaya. I am a freshman. I mean, not a freshman, a sophomore in high school. I am 16.
Okay.
And I seen y'all on Facebook, and I just wanted to join because I like that y'all vibes. Y'all seem like nice people, so I just wanted to join. Yeah, and I like and I write music. Yeah.
Well, we are so excited to have you join us and rock
Yes,
some
ma'am.
truth with us. How's everybody else doing?
Great.
I'm
You know what?
good.
I'm just gonna say that I'm blessed because
Yes.
God
Amen.
just keeps on making a way.
Amen. Amen.
Over, over, and over, and over, and over again.
Yes,
I-
sir.
So I'm gonna just leave it at that. Can't complain because
Amen.
we
Amen.
still alive. We still
We
alive,
complain,
y'all.
it won't change anything. We complain anyway, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Hey,
Not right
it is
now, though.
what
I
it
ain't gonna
is.
complain.
Amen.
Okay, so today, guys, we have an extremely special guest.
She's special,
Her name is,
For real.
her name is Mary Kennedy. We're going to have her on talking about her personal life as well as her professional life. You guys got all your questions ready?
Yes,
Yep.
ma'am.
You ready?
Impromptu. Yeah.
Should we bring her on, y'all? Should we bring her
Come
on?
on.
Yes,
Come
I mean,
on. Bring it through.
we're gonna have to bring her on.
Oh, here she
Mary,
is.
Mary Kennedy. Hello,
Mary
Mary Kennedy. Hello.
Hi.
How's
Mary.
everybody?
Hey,
Girl.
girl.
Doing great.
That's what's
All
We're
up.
just so
right.
happy to have you joining us to
I'm
talk
happy
and
to be
truth with us.
on. I am so happy to be on for real and rocking truth that y'all finally like. I don't have to do no
With
other
the youth.
nothing with the you.
Right. All
That's
right.
For you.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Yes. So I want to go ahead and start us out and open up with a really great question. So as of right now, you have Rock Truth and also Rock Truth Youth. Can you tell us a little bit how this started and how this began?
Yes.
Oh, sure. I wish I honestly could, but I can't. It actually wasn't anything that was like, most people talk about how this has been something that has always been on their minds. Like this was something I always knew I would do or something like that. That's not this story. I had no clue. This is all a shock to me. This is all a surprise to me. I am a writer originally.
Right.
I'm just a writer. And so no, you good, boo. Yes, chime in, please, girl. Like, shout that out. Yes. So I'm just a writer, like, and so the different visions that God had given me, I didn't know that the pieces would fit together this way. I didn't know anything. So this actually started out of just a response to truth. Growing up, I honestly felt as if we were not told the truth. We wasn't told basic things like, you know, you can't be anything that you want to be. You can only be who God created you to be. And so operating from a lack of dishonesty, my life, you know, played out based on a non-truth, you know. So when I was in college, I majored in everything, right? Because I have no direction. All I know is that I'm just gifted. I have all these different things, but no avenue, no real track. And the only place that I ever found that avenue or track was at Emerson Visual and Performing Arts. That was the one place where we were able to, ain't it, right? That was the one place where we were able to be ourselves. We were like the weird, you know, I guess you would call us the weirdos, the band geeks and part of the drama club and the dancers, you know. So we're the arts, and so that was our spacing to be ourselves and become. And then you have your friends who were there to also support that dream, and it was how their connections and the different things that they were doing too connected to your dream too. So, you know, you may be the actor, but then you also need the person who's part of crew that knows how to run the things behind you. So how we're all connected, you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Anybody else want to pop in with a question?
I don't really have a question, more so just talking to you, Mary Kennedy, from you being over the whole RockTruth youth. It's just me personally. I feel like it more so started with me because like me and you were just peas and carrots. We're going to see Clybourne and we're having tea and we're just like I feel like you are you are an inspiration to me, and you inspired me so young because I am also a band geek,
right?
or what you would say, and I'm into the whole, you know, with the nerds, and it's just I feel like you just opened the door for me as a young lady to
Queen.
to be able to speak my truth and know that who my father is. I am a representation of who my father is. And yeah, so that with you starting with me, I feel like open doors for the rest of RockYouth. And this is just speaking for, because Naya, you knew this is not just something you just
teach.
I just liked it and I liked your vibe. This is the truth. This is something, everybody has a purpose in this group. This is bigger than us. This is bigger than us. And this didn't just start. Like this didn't just start this year with the Rated. Like, we've been doing this for
share.
a while.
I would like you to share a little bit about that. You saying that this didn't.
Well, no.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm like I said, like you started with me when I was not even hitting double digits. So, and here I am finna be 22, and I'm just growing as a young woman. I'm going around testifying. I know I want to be a leader. I want to be a leader. I know that I can do more for young women and for my little sisters and for my little cousins, and that us women of color it's bigger than us. So yeah, that's really all I had to say about that. But you're an inspiration to me and will always be an inspiration to me.
Thank you.
And you've been for over a decade now. So that's all I'm going to say.
That's awesome.
That's a blessing.
Yes.
So since you said that she's been an inspiration for over 10 years, I'm going to go back to you, Mary. As we're interviewing you, right? I make sure and I go back to you and ask you, so in those 10 years, what were you doing that brought you and her together? And how does that tie into your personal life and those things that you were doing 10 years ago?
Yeah, so actually because of her grandma, we all ended up at Tree of Life. Missionary Baptist Church. I was actually about to say Tree of Life University, but it was not like that, right? Because we got seminary teaching, like we got college level teaching, no matter what your age was. It was no age requirement. You were going to have to define the terms, whether you knew them or not, and whether you were old enough to understand the meaning. So, we all got that same teaching. And of course, I knew her prior to, I knew her from birth. But when we got to Tree of Life, at that time, I became a church school teacher and I taught the youth. I noted my leadership style early on, that this was the, what do you call that? This was the, it's not a sample size. This is my age group. These are my target audience. There you go. So my target audience was the youth. It's not that I'm not good with younger children. I am. However, I'm more effective with the 12 to 21-year-old group. And I learned very quick, actually, from the opposition, that if you capture the mind of a 12-year-old, you'll have them for life.
Yeah.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep. I definitely believe that.
Working you with got me, girl.
Like you.
Yes, girl.
Start them early. Look, you trained them early. Look what you did. Look what you did.
Man, let me get her. Yeah. Let me get her sister. I'm like,
yes. You gotta get them early.
Yes.
Definitely.
Now, before I start asking, anybody else have another question they want to pop in? I know, Naya, you said you had a couple questions. So you want to ask her one really quick?
Yeah, real quick, because I'm finna open these phone lines, baby.
No, that's right.
You're talking to me, right?
Yes. Naya.
Okay. One of my questions was, what did you do when you felt that's something that you really wanted to do?
What did I do when I failed at something I really wanted to do? Initially, I gave up. Because growing up is very difficult when you grow up as a child who's expected to be almost perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They expect, because you make the A's and you do everything right and you catch on fast, but they forget that you have the ability to fail like everybody else. And when you're not taught how to properly handle failure, you'll give up. And so one of the first times that I ever failed in life was in my 10th grade English class. And shout out to Miss Borkman Kaza. I love her. I will never forget how she changed my life. And I used to always get straight A's. So I would be at the top of the board every time. She would put the top 3 people and I would always be there. And when I wasn't there, that was devastating. I felt like, that was something that I had to live up to, right? Almost the reputation that was provided for me. Not that wasn't who I was, but it's not something to live up to. It's just, if I'm there, I'm there. If I'm not, that's okay too. Guess what, sis? But I didn't get that. I felt as if, I was discouraged by failing and I wasn't properly taught how to. So now that I know how to properly deal with my failures, I see them as opportunity. I see my failures as classrooms. And then I get excited because I love to learn. I really do. I'm a learner. I love it. And I love learning new things. And now I'm loving to learn new things about Mary, person, God has called me back to her. Like, who is she? Yes. And why she doesn't like these things and why she does these things or says these things, not out loud in her head. Why you think that? Like, I'm dealing with me. So in reference to failure, now that I'm taught how to properly deal with failure, because it's no option. Failure is you're going to fail. Like, get that out your mind, that you're like, the greatest things in life have been created because of failures. Like, in order for you to succeed, you have to. So even when people say things like, I'm trying, I'll stop them and I'll say, you can't even fail or succeed trying. You can only fail or succeed doing.
Yeah.
Pick yourself back up. It's okay. It's great. great position to be in. You know.
All right, pause, Miss Kennedy. Pause, just real quick. We're gonna open up these phone lines. If you got a question or if you got anything in regards to Miss Mary Kennedy, or if you want to talk to any of the rockers, to Miss Taylor Renee, Lourdes Nye, Tamoy, Sanaya.
Yeah.
Call
Yes.
747-24-TRUTH. That's 747-24-TRUTH with the TH,
Yes.
not an F at the end, okay?
Yes.
All right.
I like that you said pause just for a second. Just pause for one moment. Just pause.
They are in these chats.
All right.
But
they are going in the chats.
They
are.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
If y'all want to talk to us, 747 I had it up on my phone. 242. 747-24-TRUTH. Where are you, men?
And going back to the failure piece, again, when you went through those failures, did you have a person? Did you have a thing? Was there something that kept you pushing? And can you talk about that? Any type of failure situation you may have gone through and how it pushed you through and what you clutched to, or even a person trying to keep you going?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say, I guess, you know, to be honest, of course, we rock truth. So like one of the first things that popped into my mind was the loss of my pastor, which was, he was my father that I had been longing for forever. Right.
Deep.
So it's amazing to me sometimes when people talk about, you know, having faith, and they talk about, yeah, you know, I just held on to God's unchanging hand. Let me tell you something. I let go.
Yeah.
I let go. I didn't understand. You know, it got to a point where some of it just seemed outlandish and crazy to me, to love and keep loving, and you're hurting.
Yeah.
You know, it made absolutely no sense. And then when you have a guy before you where you're modeling after, you know, what's before you, and then that guide is pulled.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
how did I make it through? I was pulled through. Like God didn't give up on Mary.
Yeah.
You know, even though I was like, what? You know, I rebelled. I started doing everything I knew not to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it was to get anybody's attention, God's attention, or it was just flat out rebellion. But I knew what I was doing. I was aware, but I also knew that I was hurting, and it was God that didn't let me go, not the other way around.
Amen.
Yeah. I
That's
felt
deep.
that.
Yeah.
Deep. Because sometimes, like you say, you know, we always want to say we always go to God, you know, like, and that's where we should go.
Right.
But then there's also some person sometimes that brings you back to it.
Yeah.
And so you need that, and also you need to know that sometimes it's okay if you doubt when you get brought back to it.
Yes.
You know, so just make sure you always have that person, and those people come in so many different ways.
They do.
They can literally be back. It can be the bum on the street. It can be someone you thought you didn't like.
Yes.
Where you push right back to where you thought you were going to be. So
you know what? Even with that being said, I definitely want to shout out Sharon Bass. Miss Sharon Bass.
Miss Bass.
Yes, Lord Jesus. And she's somebody, she's always a background player. She'll never say that she's done anything. She don't want no credit for nothing.
Yeah.
And she probably don't want no credit for this right now. But she was Sharon Bass. You know, when I was down, she saw me, she talked to me, and she said, "This ain't you." She said, "You're the one that's always telling us what it is that we're supposed to be doing. You're the one that know all the rules, all the way. You know everything. What are you doing? Get up, Mary. Get up." And it was that got me up, because I felt like, you know, I was just inside of myself, balled up in the back of my heel, just in a corner, and nobody, like everybody else is going on. Nobody sees me. Nobody, and I'm just still down though with sword in hand. and she just said, get up, this isn't you. And so ever since then, I've been, even to this point today, every day is an attempt to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can be successful. Yeah, you can be successful. You can have things going on and still hurting. That doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You still need that person.
Yeah.
What about you guys, fellow truthers? Do you have anybody that, even going back to this is the time of thanks? Is there anybody that you had those times that you want to shout them out and just say thank you?
My
For
granddad.
Joyce Joyner, she got a shout out. She probably she hear this to my Grammy. She got a shout out.
Like,
She that's my BFF. till we die.
Anybody
I could say my granddad, which everybody know as Pastor Emery.
Okay.
I lived in like Gary mostly all of my life, and when it was time for a change, as things go, you really don't want change to come. Even if change is good, change could be good, but if you're used to something, you don't want to let it go or move on. And since I have been since the age of, I would say, 10 years old, I had been going to Pilgrim, and I had met him. I didn't have a dad at that time. And I had met him, and me and him created this bond where at first I really didn't know about, God at first, like really how I know about him now, because I felt like everything was going bad in my life. So I feel like it was no reason to keep going on. But as I met him, and he would tell me like, you don't wake yourself up on your own every morning. God wakes you up.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to grateful, and you have to appreciate things even when you don't want to. So moving was actually good, which he told me. And he had a stroke or whatever, but as he keeps moving and going along, no matter what he does, he always tell me remain humble, and no matter what you do, give God thanks first. So I could say that he made me have a positive outlook on a lot of things that I thought were going to be negative.
Yes. Oh, we got The Rock in the house.
I love it.
We got The Rock in the house.
Welcome, girlfriend.
Unmute yourself, The Rock.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
How you doing?
How you doing? Who are you
I'm
thankful
good.
for?
How y'all doing?
Who inspired you? Who motivates you?
Who motivates me?
Yes. Who?
To be honest, I'm gonna say you, Tamoy. Yeah.
Me?
Yes. And Nigel.
Really?
You want to explain?
No, those are my two sisters, and I look up to them. I look up to them a lot.
Can you elaborate why? Tell us a little more about
Tamoya, she went to college, and I didn't want to go to college. Then I saw her do it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to college. Then Naja, she used to be bad, so I guess I followed her footsteps. I was bad, then I stopped being bad because she stopped being bad.
Somebody calling us?
Yeah.
They're calling us. Oh, they is calling us?
They are. Hold on. You guys have a call. Hello, caller. This is RockTruth. Tell us where you're from. What's your name?
This is Ivo the Grand Duke.
welcome.
Yeah,
What question do you have?
Oh, y'all are so beautiful.
Thank you.
I love King, y'all. I just love Kings.
Listen, I was listening to the story, and I couldn't muster up a tear to cry with you, Mary. So I'm gonna leave you with this. God, man, He's the creator of all, and He's the ultimate chess player.
Yeah.
Those things that you went through, I need you to know this. It takes dirt to grow roses.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? It takes dirt to grow roses. You would never get a beautiful flower. You would never get food. You would never get anything that's of production that can reproduce unless you have dirt first.
Mm-hmm.
So God brought you through that, to go through that, so you can be here today to witness to the rest of us and to let everybody else know, and for you to be a testimony of how he wants to use for us to grow.
Amen, brother.
And
Thank you.
I truly love you for bringing that story out like you did, because that gave me some support with how I do the things that I be doing. I always give people my background about where I came from, but it's only to produce more fruit for everybody else to eat off of.
Yes.
Teach,
Yes.
But y'all doing good. Y'all are marvelous.
Thank you.
Ivo, you know, every time you open your mouth, I learn something new. Like every time. I love it when you talk. I just want to listen. I just want to listen.
The word is I can't.
You know what, Tamoy? That's because I'm allowing God to do what He is supposed to do. I be saying things sometimes, and I be like, "Ooh, did I say that?" And
you did.
This is what He does with us. And then once He figure out that you chasing the kingdom, He puts you around more queens.
Oh, yeah.
Like what I'm looking at on my TV, because I'm watching y'all on TV.
I know that's right.
And that's what it's just what He does. And I'm so glad to be watching y'all. I'm like, I wasn't gonna watch it at first. I was just gonna comment, but then I had to put it up on the screen. I'm like, look at Katisha. Look, why is Anaya? Tell Anaya to fuck up.
Smile.
Yes.
But y'all are doing a marvelous job. I'm gonna start just tuning in all the time. I set my notifications.
Thank you.
Y'all doing a marvelous job, but I had to call in and support the queen on her story, because it was touching to me. You know what I mean? It's beautiful what y'all doing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, King.
We appreciate it.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you too.
I mean, and that's how it is. Kings and queens.
I promise.
And more kings.
Hello.
Yes. Showing all the love. I definitely appreciate it.
It's enough for everybody. That's the thing. Oh, Mary Kennedy, this has been amazing. I don't know what else I want.
And there's still more, right? And there's still more.
Now, what is it?
Okay. So Mary, what advice do you have for younger females, as far as me and Tamoy's, Nigel, Jen, Naya, when we want to, because I'm pretty sure we all been dating, what do you have as far as, what I'm trying to say, us loving a boy, putting our trust into a man, you know what I'm saying? Like, what advice would you give to your younger community as far as us when it comes down to relationships, loving a man, giving our all to a man, etc.?
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. You
go ahead, Mary. Go ahead. Lay it on thick. Lay it down.
You said a word. You said a word that was very important. You said dating. My question to all of you before I even answer it real quick was, when you heard that word, what was the imagery that was associated with it? When you hear dating, what's the imagery?
Boyfriends
like
and
going on dates.
We don't. Dating is not. That's not what we're supposed to be doing.
That's
why I told you to lay it on because I already know what was
going on. Look at the imagery. The first imageries that come to your mind is what was given, right? What images they depict, and those images have absolutely nothing to do with relationship. Relationship is intentional. It's purpose. It's so crazy because I was talking with a friend and we were listening to a thing and it said people think that relationships are kind of like, matching clothes. Like you're supposed to have pink with this pink and this pink and you match it. But that's not the truth. It's actually about complementing, and it's also about the contrast, and it's also about balance, right? You can't have too much of not one thing. And that law, as we were, kind of discussing the situation, that particular law fits all the way across board. So you know that it's truth. Everything in life has balance, right? Okay. So in reference to relationship, the first thing that's important is that you need to know. Okay. One thing is knowing that there is no dating. These are all made up things, made up rules in society. None of this is where you find in the scripture. You ain't finding nobody going out being wine and that. Okay. All of these things are false images. Marriage, relationship, like I said, is intentional. So there's purpose. There's a point that you're making when you're with somebody else. And that point has nothing to do with you or the other party. Everything has everything to do with him. It's for his name.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
in relationship, it is important. The first thing is singleness. And you need to know how to relate to you. You need to know, why is it that you do. First of all, why are you as selfish as you are? Why are you as needy as you are? Why are you as attention seeking as you are? Why you need all that? Why you gotta have somebody, in a sense, rescue you? Why you gotta have somebody always tell you every day you're beautiful? Why do you have to have? Because you don't know. And because, again, like he says, my people suffer due to lack of knowledge. You lack knowledge, and then you take that lack of knowledge and attempt to point blame at the other person. So now we got a real problem. And that type of behavior tends to damage men, especially with women. I'm definitely talking with women and younger women. And notice I didn't call you ladies or girls. You are women. You always been from the get. You are what you are. And so I'm talking to women. This leads to the abuse of our kings, my demanding spirit and attitude. And when you kind of look at the virtuous woman, she didn't make demands on her husband. She actually fulfilled the request. She was a businesswoman. She made sure she took care of the tapestry business that she had. I'm sorry, the what do you call that? Fabric business.
Right.
She had. She made sure the home was checked. She made sure the children was in place. She made sure her husband and everything was looking good, represented well out, even before herself. They had nothing to do with going on a date.
Hello.
Or to the movies. None of that. It was about that. And then again, just looking at society, you guys are not bridezillas. Actually, if you look at weddings, you should not have in your mind you coming down the aisle, right? You think you're supposed to come down the aisle. That is a falsehood. That is Western Americanized culture. In the Bible, who is the church waiting for?
Deep.
Who
ain't we waiting on Jesus?
I'm so then how are you coming down the aisle and the man is waiting on you? That's how you know it's diabolically. So weddings today are diabolically opposed to kingdom marriage. Women should be down there waiting on him. He's the gift. He's the prize. We're behind him in a sense, under submission, but he's the foundational piece. So even again, we're talking about lies, right? And being lied to. And so you'll have a saying that says, behind every great man is a great woman.
Right.
Well, let's look at the imagery. That's what they say, right? So let's put that to the acid test and look at the imagery. If you put a woman behind a man and something happens to the front, who gets crushed? The woman.
Yeah.
That's not positional. She's not foundation. She shouldn't take the blow. It should be him.
My Lord.
So
and it better
behind,
be.
Yeah, it's not behind
every
man. It is in front of every man. Is a good woman. Is a great woman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So these falsehoods. So I would say no. You want to know what it is to be a woman. You need to know what it is to be a wife. You need to know what it is to be a mother before you get into these roles.
Yeah.
And potentially damage another man. Do you understand? These are our brothers.
Another woman
and another woman. Come on,
hello.
Yeah.
And another woman teaches us.
Hello.
That probably wasn't that wasn't even your husband. That was somebody else. That was your sister's husband, and you damaged.
And look what you did.
Look what you did. Look what you did.
Yes.
I'm serious. I'm
serious.
Okay, guys,
I gotta stop us for one quick second, y'all. We gotta get ready for a break.
Oh,
we
yeah,
come back. We'll come back. We gotta go to break. Give us a few minutes. We're gonna go on a quick commercial break, and we were gonna jump right back into this conversation. So hold your questions, ladies. We're gonna jump right on in.
All right.
How you gonna call for a break and don't take us in the break?
For real.
RockTruth got merch, y'all. Who is your true north? Who holds you down so you'll always know where you are? God, the original true north, the original point of reference. Check out our clothing line, True North, at RockTruth2.com for your kingdom culture needs. Everything from tees to sweats, men's, women's, and kids' sizes. Inez Essentials Whipped Body Butter has a wide assortment of 8-ounce body butter made with unrefined shea and mango butter, infused with vitamin E oil, coconut oil, sweet almond oil, natural mica powder, and fragrant essential oils. It is designed to heal and moisturize dry skin, and it is perfect for the whole family. Our whipped shea butter is handcrafted with a blend of natural and organic ingredients. The unicorn body butter can be customized to the scent of your choice. If a scent is not chosen, no scent will be added. Have you been searching for a custom home decor and crafts? Check out Delicious Designs. For more information, simply search Della Williamson on Facebook. Are you in need of advertisement or marketing tools? Branded in his image prints, logos, flyers. Contact us today. RockTruth Prints is ready to serve your printing and designing needs. We offer a full array of marketing tools, logos, flyers, business cards, video ads, and website designs. If you need our services for prints, we got you there too. Contact us at rocktruthradio@gmail.com for more information.
All right, we are back.
RockTruth got merch, y'all.
Yeah.
Make sure you go cop something.
Okay, so in the comments,
You need a
James
deal.
Brown said, "Look at the queen." Shout out to James Brown.
All right, what's up, JB?
That's JB.
Thanks,
That's
James.
Hey now.
James.
LaShawana Joyner said, "Hey,
Hey,
y'all."
boo.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, LaShawana. Another queen, another king.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I know we're
Was that
all
it now?
excited. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Was that it? The Lord is not? That was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Was that it?
Okay.
Tell us.
We're going to put you on the comments next time. Okay, let's jump back in. I know we were getting all deep into this conversation, so I don't want to stop it, but we had to take a quick break. Did anybody have additional questions about this topic we were talking about? Because it was real deep, so I want to make sure we get back to it.
I don't know.
I mean,
Go Taylor Renee.
just Jesus, Tamoya. I was just trying to say that we come from men. So for all the little ones in the back that say, "Oh, we run the world." No. Men are the,
This is a man's world.
Yes. Thank you, Tamoya. Thank you. So yeah, that's it.
I would agree. It's no shade to women. There's absolutely no shade.
No shade.
It's just about it's not. And this is again going back to knowing when you know who you are and to whom you belong. I actually was, kind of spending the day today going through the journalistic questions of my who, what, when, where, and why. And again, it's knowing these things. When you don't know who you are, you're gonna have a problem with. As a woman, I guess you would feel as if you're taking a back seat. You're not taking a back seat. You have a very vital role. Do you know what it is to be a neck and to support everything?
Yes.
That's
yes.
so to take that serious. And then I'm not in competition with my husband or a man. Nobody, I came for this just cause. So again, like you're saying, like it ain't no shade to women. Don't feel like that. It's just order in the kingdom. Period.
Yeah.
Ain't about who you are.
Period.
Yeah, period. Put the pointer. Put that pointer.
Hello.
A bit more, Mary, for the ones who You went really deep about the relationship and dating, things like that. But what about the ones who don't know that deepness? Like what would a tip be for someone who's trying to date the right way?
Sure.
Like in your opinion, in their eye of dating, like hanging out with a boy, what is that? What would be your tip for that? For those who might be watching, hell, some women out there who might need those tips to say, what is dating really? How do I get better?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's something you want to answer, but just kind of what would be your suggestion?
Okay, sure. It would definitely be mastering singleness. You need to know. You're suffering because you do not know. So you need to re-add, break that word down. It's re-adding to yourself, re-add kingdom law, re-add his law to your life. Not your own made up agenda. You can't do that. You can't, and that kind of goes back to, knowing your true north. And that's not trying to really highlight. Well, I guess it is. I am being interviewed, right? So we do. You said right, got merch, y'all.
Yeah.
So we do have merch, and the merch that we have, it's focused on RockTruth2.com, where you too can RockTruth2, that is.com. But that merch is about, okay, so when I'm thinking about the kingdom, how would the kingdom look? What will we be wearing if we were walking around the kingdom right now? And the Bible says that we will be clothed in our right minds. So the kingdom merchandise is about the proper clothing of your mind. So re-adding to yourself what it is that you take in, take in his law. You have to know him. You got to know the manufacturer in order to know what's in the manuscript. You can't just read it. It's gonna sound like stereo instructions. When you don't know he who is love, you lost.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's in every aspect of your life. It ain't just relationship, but when you know him, it's a difference between knowing the book and the author.
Yeah.
I'm not even being funny. You ain't never got to read what you already know. I know him.
Yeah.
For real.
Right. Okay.
Right there. That's there.
Teach it.
I think Jen had a question. Did you have a question, Jen?
No,
I didn't have a question. I was gonna add to her question.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say because Mary taught me what we talking about right now, and I just want to say like you really can't prepare yourself for the conversation if you don't really know. Because me, I know I was being stubborn. I was not listening to Mary. I was like, "What are you talking about? I don't even care. Like, I don't care." But then it was like, I really, 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 you have to really understand who you are and who you are to really understand the conversation.
Yeah, ain't that something? Just to even understand the conversation, right? That's big. That's big.
Yeah.
We can't even talk about it if you don't know who you are or to who you are.
And I think that's important, Jen, what you said. Like, it's not going to happen right away. You can't expect perfection when you snap your finger and say, I'm going to do something that is going to be perfect. So knowing, and you being honest, say, okay, I didn't listen. Because sometimes you don't. You have a mother who's going to tell you, don't do this, don't do that. Oh, the boys are not right. Don't do this. You don't listen. What you want to do, you got to go test the waters and mess up sometimes. And then get right back on track. So I'm glad you said that because it doesn't happen with a snap of the finger. So good.
Wow.
They is funny in these comments.
What's happening?
Willie and Ivo.
Does dating exist?
Does dating exist?
Baby, we already answered that.
I'm gonna say this: it does exist. It exists when you. I think as a woman or a young lady, you have to set the tone of what dating is for you. When somebody wants to date you and you do actually start dating, you have to say, "This is my expectation." Don't go with what somebody thinks. If it's a Netflix and chill, we don't know. I don't Netflix and chill. I want to go. I want to do this. You got to say what you want. And if you don't say what you want, you're gonna get whatever the person who's trying to date you is gonna give you.
Yeah, and I feel like in this society, I mean, I guess dating exists, and
it doesn't. I'm gonna just rock that truth on that. It doesn't. What exists is friendship. All of
Yes,
that.
relationship.
So you have to go with, see, the thing about in the kingdom is you have to still use the biblical terms. You cannot use even the words that the world has made up. You can't.
Yeah.
So you don't see nowhere in that Bible that it uses that term. But what he said was, what greater love is this, that you lay your life on the line for who? Your friend. And
Your
that friend
friend.
is anybody. That goes anybody. You don't know who God prepared you for. You feel me? And so your job is just to be a
That's
friend.
a lie, man.
Whoever your friends are, be a friend. And then God is going to have him, because we're not looking for people. It's going to have him turn and
Yes,
say
sir.
who is.
Yes, sir.
But you're
Right.
also right,
Yes.
Miss K. You also right. You have to have a standard.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yes.
just any standard, it's
Yes.
his standard. You don't just
Right.
have like, oh, I like him tall, I want him dark. I was sending you light
More tall, athletic.
It's
Chuck.
never who you ask for. It's never who you ask for.
Listen, if I was you, I'd start asking for the opposite. Try you can try.
Yeah, for real. You better do it. You better do
You
it.
can
You
try
better do it.
Jesus with no respect.
And even then it don't work.
Because he know you.
And even then
Right.
it don't
He know you.
work.
He know what you need. He know exactly what you need to get that selfish you up out of you. So he gonna put the right people in place to go ahead and shape and mold that heart again for his
Yeah.
name's sake. So again, relationship and stuff is intentional, and it's not about you, and it's not about the other person. It is about God. That's
Yeah.
it. We reps.
Yeah.
Reps.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, somebody
Wow.
got another question?
So nah, JB, it don't exist.
No, but you can get a joke.
You feel judged.
Just develop
We
your
not judging
friendship.
you.
JB
not
talking about
judging
we
you.
feel good.
You do not.
It's
You're
just
not judged, baby. You're not, and you're such a dope friend too. You're a dope friend. Like I
He
mean, shout out
is.
to anybody that's watching. Like
He
I'm telling you,
is.
you will be a fool not to be with James Bourne. That is a dope
Yeah.
man. That's a king right there.
That's a that's a king. That's a
right.
dope
You
king.
feel me? Like I'm talking, it's just people in life. They don't know where they going. They don't know what they want. They don't know who
Yeah,
they
they
are.
just lost. Some
Nothing
people
to
don't know what
do.
friendship is.
They don't.
Some people are still confused on the definition of friendship.
Mhm.
And I came across that a lot these past couple of years that, we ain't all the same. We ain't all raised the same. And you can't water everybody either.
Right.
Sis.
You can't water everybody.
Just understand.
God is your best please go send you
Understand.
your life partner. That's right.
Won't
Yeah.
he?
Yes.
Won't he will.
Yes. Get back
King.
to first
I
love.
like
So
that. I
that's
like
another
that.
one.
I
He
do.
is
I
your
like
first
that.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Mary, I'm gonna need that on a Rock True shirt.
But
I know,
okay. I got
What greater love?
I got
What
you.
greater love?
I
Yep.
got you.
What
Shout out
greater
to Miss Tanya.
love?
Miss Tanya's quote. What was it? What was it? Gratitude glorifies God. Lord, today. Girl, yes.
That's
And that
good.
is still going. I mean, she probably had about 2K views on that. Like
Yeah.
it's moving, all that. Like, so that's super dope.
Yeah.
One question we didn't ask you is when you're not doing Rock Truth, what are you doing in the real world, in the
Good
business world?
question,
Tell us about it.
Molly.
Ha
Good
ha ha.
question.
That
When
is
she's not doing Rock Truth.
Yeah.
go ahead, tell her
Even though
again.
you're doing that 24/7, but
Exactly.
Do it
what
again.
else are you
Every day.
I was
She
about to
working
say
out.
to you when I'm not rocking truth. I'm
Working
You
out.
might have to change it. I know you're doing that 24/7, but
right.
when you're not doing that, what is the real thing you're out there in the world doing?
Oh God, I wish, I really, really, really wish that it was something different. It's not. I'm really rocking truth. If I'm not rocking truth on air, I'm actually developing concepts behind the scenes. I love doing my graphic art. That's like my outlet. That was my the graphic arts that you see with all of the quotes and stuff. That's my therapy. And it's what I love to do above anything, and it just kind of like takes me just a different place. But then I also produce videos. We do the Rock Truth imaging. So I do mentoring. I still work for Just Do It Counseling. We are out of Michigan City and in 10 different different counties in the state of Indiana. So I do credit
Wow.
recovery with students. And really, it's just, for me, it's not really credit recovery. I know I'm always on assignment, so I'm never off. Off is not off.
Right.
I'm always on with God, with Kingdom. You even when you at work, He's sending somebody, and
Yeah, he is.
no matter what, like even if I don't feel like being bothered, I have to. It's for Him.
Oh, she encourages others to make bigger moves. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, shut up, shut your mouth.
Adam said
Who
that.
said that?
And I think that I'm
It
making
didn't say who.
small moves.
It says AJ Adams. I got my other phone and I can see
Oh,
the comment.
oh, speaking of which, she has some amazing things for us. We're going to talk about it offline, but it's a few things she want to do with RockYouth, RockTruth. So shout out to Erica Adams. Yeah.
Shout out to
Like this for you
Erica
guys. and
Adams.
stuff. So, yeah. Shout out. Thanks, sis.
Oh,
Dude,
what's
you
the
dance?
dancing we keep hearing about? So you're dancing? Are you dancing too?
Yeah.
I mean, back when she
Mary began
was,
her dancing.
So tell us about the dancing. I want to know about the dancing.
when she was a
Tell us
user,
about it.
Hello.
Yeah.
she used to.
Put us there. Put us there.
So I went to Emerson for dance. I've always loved dance. I love ballet, tap, and modern. Always my favorite. I love point. Kukua. Yes, I love Kukua. Dance I actually do with Carolyn Wilson. I actually got my shirt on today. So we did the Fear Less Till You Fear Not weight loss challenge. And her challenge was initially the Fear Less weight loss challenge. And when I joined, I was cool, but I also knew that God never told us to fear less. And so I got to be a part of something. It got to be right. Them words got to be right because Jesus is always looking like that.
Yeah.
You right? You with this? So I know. Don't say nothing. I just want to know you down. This you?
Yeah.
I know. So I had to, what God revealed was that, yes, I did say fear not. And that is absolutely correct.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the comments.
I just realized
you pay footwork.
it's a setup. We have been moving. I done watched all three of them just join up. You know what? They really got a prayer partner on us. Everything. These three particular men in the comment section that's normally sitting
I keep cracking up.
I think they want a battle. Y'all want a battle?
They don't want a
Y'all want a
battle.
battle?
It's all like that, fellas. It's like you ready? Y'all they clowning out here. They clowning out here.
I would love to see that. I would love to see it. I'm gonna have to put some money on Ivo.
My money on Talia, man.
I'm gonna have to put some money on my bro. I'm gonna have to put some money.
Yeah, right with me, queen.
Talia will pull y'all up.
Tomorrow, tell them, baby, y'all know I'm the original.
I'm I done seen Talia do some moves. I thought I never could. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
All the different hairstyles. Look.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You see the variety? You see the variety? Yeah. But look, when you go through each picture though, as long as you see the variety, but then you see in his image. In his image. In his image. So he the same. You see? I love it. Yes. But yeah, I do kukua. I do kukua on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock at Carolyn Winston's weight loss group. I didn't want to do it. I didn't. I'm not doing with even like these interviews and stuff. People say like, "Oh, you're professional." You just no, honey. I was scared. I would throw up before shows. I would get real sick.
Really?
Yeah. It would take a 3-day process. So from Wednesday to Friday, it was a process of mentally doing this. I did not want to. I don't like. I was like a Facebook stalker. Like I'm on there, but I ain't on that. Comment.
I said he praised dance.
I noticed that.
funny.
I didn't know.
I pressed this too. I'm dead.
I'm really I'm gonna cry. He is too hilarious.
They tearing up in the comments. I'm sorry, I can't even stay focused.
I can't too, no low key. I just be trying. I be holding back. Like, you know, some of these songs will take you
I'm
somewhere
trying
else.
to learn. I'm trying to learn how to. I am.
I'm
bro.
over here crying. He
I
fucking.
mean,
sorry, go back. I'm sorry.
I might be giving away all the like Black youth secrets or something, but like I still don't know how to like shout type. So I be trying to copy like if
Oh my
I
god!
be trying to like. So I done seen a lot of people. I see what y'all do. Like it's like kiss, and it's like you gotta do
All in the bounce. It's really all in the bounce and the way you move your feet.
So I still be having like my eyes open sometimes just to
Yeah, me having my eyes open. I'm dead.
I'm not gonna play with y'all.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry.
You just
Oh
need
my
to be
goodness.
running in at that point.
I'm the only one. I know I'm not.
I know.
So-
We know how to shut on here. I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. Next Monday, I'm on the phone lines. I'm gonna ask.
But you know what, Mary, that brought me to my I did have one last question about you talked about your weight loss challenge. So I wanted you to kind of talk about that. What has, as you went through your weight loss challenge, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So back in 2000 and I believe 16, I started a weight loss journey with Brenda Copeland. She was doing Herbalife. She did Herbalife. And I joined that challenge. I started out with the 21 Days of Fitness challenge, and I won. I believe I lost about 28 pounds or something initially. I was well over in my 200s when I first started. The heaviest I was 215. So I was on a scale, and I don't like using a scale, but I did do the scale on Sunday, and I am actually 134 pounds. Come on now. And then hold on. Let me tell you what that waist do. I am 35 and a half in the waist. What?
Okay.
I stay cute in the face. I mean, I was so closer to them goals, boo. But I do know that it was a teetering from 15 to from 16 to 17 and 18. This year in 2020 was when I really started seeing the progress, and a lot of it was during quarantine when we had quarantine. I actually was stuck in the house, and again I say this was my therapy. And so during that time frame was when God taught me about mental consumption levels and the importance of that. And so what I started to mentally consume was a result of the physical weight loss. So it wasn't my physical eating. It wasn't that I was eating anything different. I wasn't snacking. I wasn't eating that wasn't it. I started to change what I was bringing, the filth and the garbage I was bringing here. And it was like really about what I was telling myself, or what I would allow somebody else's issue or problem to become mine. That's not mine. I don't own it. That ain't got nothing to do with me. So it becomes like, again, all of the mental consumption levels is really the result of the weight loss.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. That's a big a big change. That's 215 or 135. You said 136.
Yeah, 134. Yeah.
She wants that weight off.
Yeah. That is fantastic.
Well,
I know we're coming towards the end here. Did anybody have any final thing they wanted to say to Miss Mary Kennedy?
Keep inspiring, please.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you doing.
Don't stop doing you.
Yes. I did want to. I like to try to end it with something that kind of was talked about in the conversation. I know we talked a little bit about failures. We talked about looking to people as being a support, not knowing who that person might be. There's something online that I saw, It's just a quote. Jacob was a cheater. Peter had a temper. David had an affair. Noah got drunk. Jonah ran from God. Paul was a murderer. Gideon was insecure. Miriam was a gossiper. Martha was a worrier. Thomas was a doubter. Sarah was impatient. Elijah was depressed. Moses stuttered. Zacchaeus was short. Abraham was old, and Lazarus was dead. God doesn't call the qualified; He qualifies the call.
Amen.
So
Amen.
I just think that kind of brought in a little bit of what our conversation was. So I just want to leave us with that.
Amen.
And I again want to thank you, Mary, for having this conversation with us and talking and rocking some truth with the youth.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. That was a dope route.
Take us out.
Thank you, Mary.
Yeah. And you can add to that. You can add to that. Mary was all of that. All of them, because when you look at that, and when you go back to who was a murderer, so was I. I just used my tongue to do it. I just used my tongue as the weapon to do. So I was all of them. Yeah.
It was Paul. That's who it was. We were talking
about.
about.
No matter what you're doing or what's going on, you can always make that change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amen.
All right. It's an ending that we do, right?
Yeah.
I'm just a guest in here. I don't know. I'm just a guest.
I'm talking to my youth truthers here. Do y'all know?
Y'all wanna? Who wanna?
Y'all don't remember?
I know it because you know me.
All right,
y'all. We lit, we laugh, we true. Be you, rock truth every day, not just on Mondays and Fridays.
Every day. All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. See y'all next Monday at 5.
That was dope, y'all.
Stay true.
Ow, ow.